Here we are with Chris Bartl, Bartl Strength and Conditioning. And as you can see, we are climbing the ladder. The ladder to success, the ladder to fitness. Who knows where this ladder is going? But I bet Chris does. Chris, where's it going?
It's going up.
Oh, shit. This is a family show, and I just said the S word. I hope you guys are okay with that.
Don't worry, we can edit that out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Batman. It'll just say, bam.
Pow, zap, ladder.
Ladder. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about hip abduction. Okay, and this is another great exercise to use with bands from EliteFTS.com to really help get your shoulders warmed up, or not your shoulders, I'm sorry, get your hips warmed up, but it's also just a good all-around hip exercise to help with hip health. Now, I'm sure when I say hip adduction, adduction, or hip abduction, abduction, the first thing that pops into people's mind, at least what I do, I think of what are called the yes-no machines that you see at the commercial gyms, the ones where, 90% of the meatheads are sitting there staring at the girls, sitting down, yes, no, come grab me, okay? Those machines suck, but they also really serve kind of a good purpose, especially the abduction ones where you're moving the hips out. So what we're going to do is, Jesse, go ahead and have a seat. I'm going to show you how you can create your own yes or no machine in your own gym.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take our band, okay, and we're just going to twist it and fold it in half so it's doubled over, okay? Now this band is going to create a nice little bit of tension for Jesse. Jesse, go ahead and bring your feet all the way up into the air. And yes, I have a big ass. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to set this just below his knees, okay? Now start with your feet in a position where there's just a little bit of a tension, okay? And now move your feet about 3 inches out on each side. Okay? So, in the starting position, long in the spine, tall in the spine, big chest, okay? And all I'm going to have Jesse do is, you can see right now there's just a little bit of tension on the band. Okay? That's perfect. Okay? What I'm going to have Jesse do is squeeze your glutes, drive your knees out as far as you can, hold it for 3, 2, 1, relax.
Yes.
Okay? Fire back out, right again. 3, 2, 1, relax. Go ahead and keep on going. So you can see, even with this little tiny band doubled over, Jesse's on his 4th rep right now, and I can already tell you his hips and his glutes are screaming at me. Okay? This is a great exercise to do. You see a lot of power lifters will actually use this, especially the amateur ones, because it warms up the hips. Okay? It gets the hips ready for a heavy squat day or a heavy deadlift day. If you are sitting on your tush all day and you're in this fixed position all day, this is a good one to do along with the X-band walks to wake up your hips, lull those sleeping giants. Okay? So, you're going to do sets. Go ahead and relax. You can do sets anywhere upwards of 10 to 20. You can get super creative. You can do pauses. You can do rest pauses. I always like to have clients start out doing 3-second holds for sets of 10, and then we'll progress from 10 to 12, 15, up to 20. Once they can do a set of 20 with this and holding it for 3 seconds every single time, I'll drop back down to 10 and we'll increase the time that they have to hold from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. You can have people do 10 sets of 10 at 10-second holds. So you can get really creative, and all you need is one little $7 piece of rubber from EliteFTS.com, and you can do a whole 12, 16 weeks worth of progressions just with one band, just by changing, adding the time, changing, manipulating your reps.
Chris, how many pounds of tension would this be double up approximately, would you guess? This is a reference point.
Well, let's...
Because, you bring up a good point about the yes-no machines, right? So we all know that when you go and use a yes-no machine, you usually use like 30 pounds or 50 pounds or 80 pounds or whatever. So just as a starting point for somebody, because I can tell you guys, this thing, and just doing that with what Chris is much harder than any of the yes-no machines I've ever used, on a heavy weight too. I mean, this was a considerably harder, and the thing of it is there's no momentum in it going away, so there's nothing that I can bounce off of it from.
Yeah. The hard thing to tell about with this exercise is the total tension. When you're starting with your knees at the fixed position, I would say there's probably anywhere from 7 to 12 pounds worth of tension. But the thing that I really love about the bands is the further they stretch, the harder it gets. With it doubled over, you're starting at 7, say, let's just kind of guesstimate here, say you're starting at 7, but you move it out all of a sudden 3 to 4 inches, all of a sudden you could have anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds of tension on the outside, depending on the thickness of the band. Because they make different, really thick monster bands that create an incredible amount of tension. But really, the reason why I like the band better is it gets people out of that mind frame of, I got to do 30 pounds, I got to do 40 pounds, I got to do 50 pounds. Focus on quality reps here and just let the band do the work. Who cares? This is one of those exercises where you'll actually hear me say, it really doesn't matter how strong you are. It just matters if you can do it right.
And I think that's it. That's really it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Awesome, Chris. So now we know where the ladder is going. The ladder is going to tighter butt cheeks. We'll see you next time.
Cracking walnuts.